Hi guys, this week we are gonna talk about
markets, Nasdaq is blowing. Our portfolio, mini S&P best performer. Tip of the week, energy futures. And the weekly rollover.
and if you are interested in systematic trading, then subscribe to our channel. I am Francesco Placci, Head of R&D at Unger Academy. Let's start from the market overview to see together what happened during the week. Well, starting from the analysis of different sectors, we see good performances for equity index futures during the last week. American futures are close to historical highs. The Nasdaq future is the best performer. It is on all-time highs, while the mini S&P 500 is still a little below. Basically, during the last month, it has moved sideways, as you can see from our percentile ranking. Among the sectors to be reported, there is certainly the energy sector, because all futures show very interesting returns. We have to keep in mind that this sector had very negative returns the previous week, so we can consider it as a reaction to the previous downturn. Finally, we see 4% for live cattle, 7.7% for coffee future, which seems to react to the medium-term downtrend, and cotton future, which has gained 5.4%. The only future that shows significant negative returns is cocoa, which is back near to March lows. And we also see Linox future still in downtrend. As regards monthly performances, almost all instruments are in a lateral phase. We don't see significant returns except for the Nasdaq future and some energy futures such as gasoline and heating oil. But as you can see, they are very far from the highs of the beginning of the year. Talking about volatility, we still see very high values compared to the average value on annual basis. As you see, all values are at the top of the ranking, while on a monthly basis we can see some return to the average. American stock indexes are an exception because they still show very high volatility values, and also some agricultural futures, such as soybean meal, which shows an increase in volatility, and also the corn future, whose volatility is at an all-time high. Talking about implied volatility, in this chart we see all the volatility indexes and their evolution over time. We can see how the spread between these indices widened over the week, and we can consider it as a sign of stabilization of the equity markets. Here we have the VIX 9 days, the VIX 3 month and the VIX 6 month. Finally, we have the VIX 1 year, which is unusually not the highest. This probably means that within a year, traders expect lower volatility values. After seeing some key statistics on financial markets, and given the fact that automated traders also use this data to build their trading strategies, as usual, we will now take a look at our portfolio of trading strategies to see how systems have reacted to current market conditions.
Hi guys, this is Alessandro Danos. Today I'm going to show you some of our trading systems to understand how they reacted to current market conditions. First of all, I show you a system on the S&P 500 future, which dates back to 2015. It's a reversal strategy that buys and sells with limit orders on the highs and lows of the day before. As we can see, the strategy during this year showed very good results. due to high volatility caused by the coronavirus. The profits we obtained have been even higher than expected in 2020. Now let's move to another strategy, again on the S&P 500 future, but this time we will see the results of a bias strategy, which enters long on Tuesday and closes on Thursday at the end of the session. Shorts are opened on Fridays and then they are covered at the end of Friday's session. We can notice that the last Friday the strategy made a very good trade on the short side, almost 70 points on the S&P 500. And this is even more striking because it was a short, and we know how difficult it is when it comes to short the S&P. I would also like to highlight that beside the equity line that is showing good results due to a volatility increase over the last year, we see how the strategy took a very large profitable trade of around 400 points. So an incredible trade, difficult to replicate in the future. We can see that also the equity curve close to close is near its peak, and we are pleased to see that. Now let's focus on another market that is performing well, and I show you a system called OOPS based on Larry Williams' idea. Also, Andrea Unger proposed this system in many occasions, and as you can see, the strategy has been profitable in the last period. This is the equity curve generated by the system, and we can see that specifically in the last week the strategy was able to take a profit target of 200 points, that is 5,000 euro, showing that this strategy may be used also in the future in an effective way. Another strategy that I want to show you is this long bias strategy that enters at 5 o'clock Frankfurt time and sells the positions at 9 o'clock in the morning. It is based on the night bullish bias of the DAX future, and we can also see how this strategy in the last weeks and months has obtained a nice series of trades. From the report, we can see how this simple strategy on one hand has suffered from the coronavirus collapse, because we must remember that this strategy makes just long trades. On the other hand, the strategy recovered from the losses, reaching new peaks.
Hello everyone from Andrea Unger, and here we have the trading day of month bias, and in this case here you can see the average behavior of this instrument. There is the RBOB future that is listed on the NYMEX exchange, and here it's important in my opinion to note that on average the instrument seems on different periods analyzed. We can see here that the black line, the blue line and the red line takes into account different historical periods. That on average, I was saying that the instruments on average goes down in the first part of the trading month. So it seems there is a sort of bearish behavior in the first part of the trading of the month, and then in the last part of the month the instrument seems to go up in general, and so it seems to have a bullish bias in the second part of the month. So this may be interesting to be used such as a filter, for example. So if you, for example, create a trading strategy that is, for example, a multi-day trend following strategy, it can be good to try to filter your strategy according to this behavior. So for example, you can try to operate more short in the first part of the month, so until the 11th trading day of month, and then to operate long on the second part of the trading month. And it's also important, in my opinion, to know that this behavior seems to be confirmed on another asset, that is the HO, that is the heating oil future, always listed at the NYMEX exchange. And this is a highly correlated underlying to the RB/OB gasoline. They have not exactly, but in general, a similar behavior. They are both some petroleum derivative, so some oil derivatives, and they are usually highly correlated. They have similar volatility characteristics and so on. And this second instrument, that is the HO, doesn't have the exactly same bias, but is quite similar. In fact, we can see here that the red line and the black line also have an interesting bearish bias in the first part of the trading month in general, while they are more bullish in the second part of the month. The blue line in this case has significantly different behavior, but is not opposite, to be honest. The bias in this case seems to be more bearish in general, but also in the last days here it recovers something, and it has anyway an important bullish average that seems to confirm our original idea.
Well, let's take a look at the rollover calendar for the next week. As you can see, there is not much to report. We only have one rollover on London gas oil. I think not many of you trade this future. It is a product used mainly by specialists in the energy sector. So that's all for this week. Well guys, if you want to learn more about how to find your edges in the market and turn them into automated strategies, you will find the link in the description. It's our free online webinar during which you will see the steps to build your trading systems and become a profitable trader, how to have an edge over other traders and professionals in the sector, and how to build a diversified portfolio of automated trading strategies. And finally, if you liked this video, press like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you next week with another episode of the Trading Show.